Howdy, folks. We are talking about this week your very first project. Are you excited? I am. I'm really excited. It is the marketing analysis project. It's a really fun project, so I hope you enjoy it. I just got a webcam, so you're going to see me going like this a lot. I'm still adjusting to how to use it because I am not an influencer, so I struggle a little bit with these technologies. But let's talk about this marketing analysis project. It's your first project of the semester. It is worth 150 points. So make sure that after you review this video, that you really focus on these assignment guidelines that I'm sharing on here, just to make sure you're clear on the project, on the goals and the objectives. So for the marketing analysis project, you are going to assume that you are a representative of any one of the following. So just one, not all. A business, so if you're interested in business, if you're a business major, this could be fun. Whether it's a small local business that you know about, or a large company, or anywhere in between that sells any type of product or service, entertainment, food, technology, agriculture, clothes, etc. Anything that they sell. If that doesn't interest you, maybe you're in the modern world and you want to represent a specific social media company. Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, whatever else the kids are using these days. I don't know. You could represent one social media company. If you're interested in streaming, any kind of online streaming company, Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Spotify, etc., you could do that. If there's a certain app that you use, you can represent that app, that company, that organization, whatever you want to call it, of any kind. If you're interested in academia, you could represent a school or a university. If you want to represent an office setting, meaning a law office, a medical office, or outside office, a hospital, insurance, trade work, anything that interests you that offers a service. Or you can create an organization and give it a name. That could be really cool too. You don't have to. But if you want to create an organization from scratch, you could represent some new organization that doesn't exist. It could be really cool. So once you decide who, you have to represent somebody because it'll help you place yourself in the rhetorical situation because you're representing them, so you're thinking like them. You're putting yourself there. So whatever you decide, keep in mind that for this project, you have 3 different audiences in mind who you're speaking to. Whoever it is you are representing. So if you chose Walmart, you're talking to the representatives of Walmart. Because they would read this first to approve your idea for this marketing project. You also have your target audience. You're thinking about them to meet their needs. You're trying to sell something to them, so they are a main audience as well. And I'm a secondary audience. I'm the back burner. I'm in the background, kind of like we talked about with audience, that in classes like these, you want to forget you're in class and you want to pretend that you are working for this organization so that you can adapt yourself to the rhetorical situation a little easier. All right, so I'm still your audience, but I kind of become the secondary audience, not the primary. But you're teaching me about this product or service that you want to market. So all the technicalities aside, once you choose who you want to represent, so I'll say Walmart, just for the sake of argument, you will then design a marketing plan on any new product or service that you want. Remember, it must be a new product or service that doesn't already exist. So if I represented Walmart and I want to market some kind of product, I would have to think of something that they don't already have, which they have a lot, right? So I would have to think of something entirely different, a new product that they don't have, and that's what my entire project would be about. I'd be marketing a new product or service that they lack, because I'm trying to convince my target audience that they should be interested in, if we ever approved it, that they should be interested in stopping by and buying it or trying out the service. And you're also convincing the organization themselves that they should take on this new product or service. All right? So this is what is required. This is what should be included in your marketing plan. So consider organizing these by section headings. This week we're talking about design principles. So design principles helps you organize your entire report. So I need to know right away who the company is that you're representing and find some kind of logo if it already exists, a logo that represents them. If you are creating a new organization entirely, then you get to create some kind of new, you get to find some kind of new image to represent them. All right, so some kind of company, you need the company name and logo so we're clear who it is you're representing. The most important part of this project is the product description section. Why? Because that's what you're marketing. That's what the whole point of this project is. So this will be the most detailed section of the report, of the analysis report. So describe the product. What is it? What does it look like? What does it do? You're assuming your audience doesn't know anything about the product, so you're explaining it to them. And you also need the description of the need for this product. Why is this product needed? Why will the audience and your organization benefit from it? Why doesn't it exist and why should it exist? All right. Why does your organization and target market need this product? Okay. The most important part of the product description section is you need to find a source, one source, an article about the product, a video about the product, about the popularity it has. I don't want to say book because I don't think a book would be really relevant for this, but if there's some kind of book that would be a good source to use, you can definitely do so. If you're interested, you could survey people and ask if they would like to buy, if they would be interested in buying the product. That could be your source yourself, you kind of conducting research. Whatever it is, some kind of source to prove the need, because that builds your ethos, your credibility as a persuader, because you're really persuading with this project. So you're using a source to prove why it's needed. All right. The target market section, this section can be short. It can be in the form of a list because you're listing the different audiences who would be interested. The competitors of your company, who are the competitors of your company? Who else has this product? So then once you get it, you become full-on competitors. Briefly explain why. This section can be short as well. The lengthiest part of this analysis is the product description section. Advertisement. Create some kind of tagline that relates to your product. So if you're already representing an organization that exists and they already have a tagline for products, don't use it. Create some kind of new tagline and review the list of taglines that I'm providing for you in this week's module to kind of get ideas. Have fun with it. A tagline is a brief few words sentence that connects to this new product. So have fun with that one. The price of product. This is not a heavy budgeting class. This is a writing course. I'm terrible at math. So overall, just how much would people pay for the product, do you think? Just kind of estimate. If you want a budget, you can go into an in-depth budget, but I just want to know the overall price. And here you could also include if you would have promotions or discounts as well. All right. So that's what's required in the report. Those are the sections that I'm going to be looking at to make sure you have in your analysis. So little reminders, you're now beginning to break away from full academic essay formats that you learned in previous composition English courses. This course isn't a composition course, so you're breaking away from those bulky paragraphs, lengthy written word documents. Of course, there's going to be some writing, especially in that product description, but you're breaking away from that 5-paragraph essay. So I don't want this to look like an essay. I don't want it to look like a research report. Have fun with design as well. So use section headings. Use bullet points whenever you're listing information. For example, the target market. List it. Use persuasion. This is a persuasive genre. You're trying to convince your organization and your target audience that this new product that the company is lacking is needed and why. So your source is already one form of persuasion. You're proving the need to boost your credibility as a researcher. Certain tone words could convince the audiences why it's needed. When you use tone, think about the persuasion lecture that I had this week for pathos, tone words. You're not making it highly emotional, but certain words can help. And think about factual claims. That could also be from the source that you find about the product or service. Just makes it more marketable. So think about persuasion, the persuasive appeals when you're writing, when you're finding a source and things like that. So consider the rhetorical situation to place the audience into the mind of the organization. It also helps you because you're pretending you work for this organization. So it helps, you're placing yourself in the rhetorical situation and pretending you're not in class working on an assignment. Considering the rhetorical situation can help with design ideas too. Use color in this report. Color your section headings if it's relevant, right? If you're representing a law office, you're not going to use bright pinks, bright yellows, bright blues. You're going to keep it very black and white, simple, clean design. But it just depends what type of company you're working for. When you think of company names, and make sure you look at that worksheet that I provided this week on using color in documents, and the last page has companies associated with each color. So whatever your company, whatever your organization is, use those colors to tie it in. And just remember, you're marketing something new that doesn't already exist within the organization. I always use an example. I like to keep the marketing plan, if I were a student, simple. You can make it very complex if you want, but I like to keep things simple. So there's a yogurt brand that I like a lot. It's called Noosa, and they have a lot of different crazy flavors. So if I were doing this marketing analysis, I would represent the Noosa brand of yogurt, and I would market a new yogurt flavor. And I really like pistachios, and they don't have a pistachio yogurt flavor. So I would do this whole report on why pistachio yogurt is needed for this company. And maybe a source that I would find to prove why people should be enjoying pistachios. Maybe I'd find an article about the health benefits of pistachios. That's my one source to prove the need. Noosa, the company, the color schemes they use are pinks, black, and I think yellow, I believe, and maybe blue. They use a lot of colors. So I would incorporate those colors from their company logo into my report when I have the section headings and all that fun stuff. So that's what I want you to think about. You don't have to make this complicated if you don't want to. You can if you want. But you're going to see some student samples of this report, and you can see all the different ideas that you can do with this. Think about what you like, what products you have, what companies you like, and what would be a cool thing to market. Okay? And am I covering everything? Yes. Save your final draft as a PDF. PDF preferred, remember that, and submit on Canvas. Final draft of this is due Sunday, September 13th, so you have some time to plan. You're thinking about it this week. You're really just planning it. You're getting that ideas written down with the topic proposal. The grading rubric, this project is worth 150 points, so this is how I'll be grading. Basically, it's just all of this to make sure you have all that information. Product information is your product described in detail along with an emphasis. Do you really discuss the need for the product? Meaning, did you find one source to prove the need? Target market audience is described or listed. Competitor section is also included. Company name, logo, tagline, and price included, all that information that I'm asking for. And then design. Does it look like an essay? Hopefully not. Are you starting to use the principles of design that we're learning about this week? Do you have section headings without bulky paragraphs? Did you use contrast to emphasize certain words? Did you use repetition to have the same consistent heading styles used throughout the whole document? Did you utilize white space so that it doesn't look too bulky and cramped? That's what I'm looking at with design. So together, this is 150 points. If you have questions about it, let me know. But what I'm going to do is kind of explain these sections a little bit more for you with this PowerPoint. So again, the section of this marketing project, you should have the organization name and logo. I need to add that, and logo. Don't forget the logo. What is the product? The product description. Target market, meaning who would be interested in buying the product, competitors of your company, advertisement, meaning the tagline, and then the price. How much would people pay? So let's talk about each one of these sections in a little more detail. Organization, who are you representing? The organizations can be anything, like we said, or a self-created one if you want. Whoever you represent, think design. The logo should be placed, there it is. The logo should be placed at the top of the document. That immediately, I don't really care about order with these sections, but you should always start with the organization because I want to know who you're representing first. Product description. This is the most important section because it's the entire point. It's the entire purpose of your marketing plan. All the sections center around it. So what new product or service are you marketing? A product can be anything tangible, meaning anything you can hold, or it can be intangible, like a service, a new app is needed, some type of music, something like that as well. Anything in between. So audience awareness, assume your audience has never heard of this new idea you have. So describe everything about it. Use descriptions with your writing. The need for the product. Why is this product needed? Explain the need, how it will benefit your organization, and how your target market will benefit. Why should they buy it? That's where you use persuasion a little bit more, the rhetorical appeals. And then a source. Include a source to prove the need for this product or service. Like I said, if I was doing this assignment and I thought, hey, Noosa, you need pistachio flavored yogurt, I would probably find a source about the health benefits of pistachios. That way you persuade through credibility, a source, a credible source, and facts. Now keep in mind that, did I mention this? Okay, good, I did. Finding a source. Okay, so you're thinking, how do I find a source to prove the need? There are various types of sources to use. Published articles in newspapers or magazines. Start on Google and just kind of Google some questions about your product. YouTube videos. See what's out there on YouTube. Books, if it's relevant. I don't know if it is. This isn't an in-depth research paper. You're just finding one source. Or yourself. A great interactive way to learn about the product need is by interviewing someone or creating a survey to distribute to people. Your results from the survey would be your own source. Now I know we're not face-to-face, so you're not really interacting with people. A lot of students, if they have social media, for example, Instagram, there's a really cool option to ask a question and post it on your story, and you can get the answers from that question. That could be your source. Twitter, I think, also has it. There's also a website called SurveyMonkey where you can create some questions and distribute it anyway through a link, and people can take the survey. It's a kind of fun way to just ask questions about your product to people and see if they're interested in it. So yourself could be a really cool source. We're not in APA format. We're not in heavy research at all yet. So you don't need to have in-text citations. You don't need to have a reference page. You don't need to quote the source. You're just using it to build your product description section. So you don't have to incorporate your source with an in-text citation. All you can do if you want is provide the link at the very end of the report. Just copy and paste the link. If you decided to conduct your own research, include the results, a screenshot of it, or download it, however it is, and I'd like to see the results of the survey, for example, and just paste it last page of your report. So no formal APA format. You're just using a source to build your credibility a little bit, to kind of get comfortable with finding sources as well. So target market, who is your product for? Remember categories. Ages could be a target market, a certain age group that would be interested. Gender, is gender impacted by it more? Certain demographic locations, will big cities benefit from it better than smaller towns, or vice versa? Is a certain income level required? Sometimes with technology it's really expensive, so is there a certain income level who would respond to it better? Is religion impacted by it? Is certain interest groups, music fans, video gamers, things like that? Specific professions, would doctors use this new product at the hospital? Things like that. So don't say everyone. That's not really analyzing. There's no right or wrong. You're really just giving me detail and listing all the different target market impacted by your new product or service. Competitors. What other organizations have similar products or services as the one that you are marketing? If proved successful, your competitors could begin a similar idea. So you kind of want to keep an eye on who has this product already or who has a similar one. Write a list of organization names who would be your competitors. And then advertisements. Let's talk about a tagline a little more. A tagline is a few words sentences, maybe, but usually just a few words that sells your product or service. The words used should hint at what your product is. You should be able to identify what the product is just with those few words. It keeps the audience's attention and it's fun. So create your own tagline. Don't use one that already exists because your new product or service doesn't exist. So you want to create your own tagline. So look over here, and for Levi's jeans, their tagline is quality never goes out of style. That word style, that word quality together, we at least know it's some kind of clothing brand. So something like that. Even if your company already has an existing tagline, create a new one. And I'll put some more taglines on here, on modules, just so you can kind of get more of a brainstorming idea. All right, price. How much would your target market spend on this product or service? Kind of gauge it with something else that exists already, and that can help you get an idea for price. Consider including promotions, discounts. Would customers get 50% off if they bought the product on something else? That could be a cool way to incorporate it into the price section even more. Where would you feature this product? Would you feature it? Would you have an advertisement for it on social media? Would it be in magazines? Would it be on TV? When I listen to podcasts, I hear advertisements now. So, just think, maybe list different promotions that you would have it out for. And if you want discounts, does your target market get a reduced rate, percentage off? You don't have to get that technical. Just price, overall figure, how much would they spend, and where would you promote it? Design. This is where you consider the rhetorical situation. What color scheme does your organization already use? Like I said with that company, Noosa, they use pinks, blues, yellows, and black. So they kind of use a lot of colors. When listing information, always use bullet points. That's a habit that I want you to get into with this class, is anytime you list, for example, how I listed the design principles right here, use bullet points. It breaks up paragraphs and it allows for a clean design. And of course, apply these design principles that we are learning about this week. So if you're stuck on choosing a topic, sometimes it's just there's too many ideas out there, just ask yourself these questions to kind of brainstorm. What products do you already use that you like? What services would benefit a community if you're interested in that route? What are your favorite places to eat? I always like food, so I think food is fun. What's your favorite music to listen to? Do you want to market? Do you want your favorite band, to try some kind of new instrument or try a new sound? That could be something. You can go anywhere with this. I had a student one time market a pen that people could use that could erase things in real life. You can get as creative or technical as you want with this. What is missing at your current workplace? Where do you work? What would be really convenient for your organization to get? What is your favorite technology and how could it improve? It's always a popular one. So, words of advice, you can break up large paragraphs by using bullet points. They are encouraged. Apply the principles of design. Write in third person, and what I mean by third person is they, them, and it. So don't say the product that I want to market or you should buy this product. You should say Noosa should try adding pistachio yogurt. People would love it. The word people is third person. When finding a source to prove the need, ask yourself, what research has proven that this product, service is beneficial in other contexts? Or what questions can I ask individuals to see if they would have an interest in this product or service? A lot of confusions that come up with this. Students ask, how can I find a source if the product doesn't exist for the company? You're just using the source to explain the product a little bit more and why it's so important. And have fun with design. So that's overall the marketing plan. Should you have any questions, let me know. I love brainstorming this out with you all. So if you run into any questions or confusions, just let me know.